Hey, good morning, 4 Degrees. This is Joel here with our Monday weekly update. Today is June 1st, so we're halfway through the year. And I wanted to touch on a couple different topics before I ask the team leaders to come through and talk about what's going on within their departments. So the first one, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if you weren't aware, there was some stuff going on downtown. I would say to all of us here at 4 Degrees, try to stay as far away from that as possible. You know, it has potential to be a very dangerous situation. So just make sure the most important thing is that you're just being situationally aware of where you are and who you're hanging out with, okay? The second piece is spam emails. So some of you have gotten an email from me, and to be honest, I think you can probably tell that it's not me right away just because that's not the way I talk. I don't ask these open-ended questions and then follow up with some silly jargon. You'll know if it's from me, but make sure you're aware of those things so you're not clicking on links. So this is almost kind of like a, I guess, operational security announcement, if you will. Just make sure you're not clicking on unidentified links or open up emails from spam folks. The next one is videos. So last week I did one. It had the new rental laws, and I think it's important. I sent it out to not only our investor clients, but also to everybody in 4 Degrees, because to me, that's the way we become the most knowledgeable within our industry. And so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of, actually 4 new laws that come into effect June 11th. And so just take time to watch that quick video. Log it for what it is, and then use it however you can with the clients that you're working with. Next one is a personnel update. So many of you are aware that Forrest is no longer with us. He was working in the organic department, but he's no longer with us. So make sure you direct your email communication to Jess and to Russ. Okay. The last piece is our desired future statement. And so right now we're 2 months into this. If you remember, we created this as approximately April 1st. So we've gone through this in April and in May. But I just want to read it again to kind of reorient our focus on what we're trying to accomplish during this time. So what we said is within the next 90 days, we'll work to create organizational resiliency through controlling expenses, maintaining current clients, and strategically developing new sources of revenue with our ultimate goal of reactivating 100% of our team members and positioning ourselves for future success. So if I had enough time, and I kind of told the team we want to go a little bit quicker today, I would unpack each one of those, and I would say we're winning in every single category. The team is just absolutely crushing it. We're hunkering down where we need to. We're applying pressure where we need to. And so I feel personally that things are going extremely well, and we're doing a really good job of that. So one piece also that I want to touch on is the communication. So this is one of those things that we as 4 Degrees committed to, and we want to make sure that we continue to keep everybody in the loop with new things that are going on. And then also the Friday update, and then the realtor update on Mondays. So once again, just want to stick to this. We want to do a really good job of staying focused, especially when there's so much noise going on around us. We want to make sure that we have a really good plan going forward in what we're trying to accomplish. Okay? So what I want to do, and I've asked the leaders within each department to talk through, are 2 to 3 priorities that they have for this week, and then also to let us know one goal that their department is either absolutely crushing or getting good traction on, and so then that way we can kind of celebrate with one another. So I'm going to be followed by Lee with the brokerage.
Good morning. This week, the brokerage is focusing on cross-training and getting everyone hooked up to the printer. So brokers, if you have not been able to print or have not ever been able or hooked up to it, please come see Sandy or myself. A goal that the brokerage is crushing is we are staying within the top 10 in the MLS. We are sitting at number 7 currently. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jessica with the Organic Department. Our 3 main focuses this week will be June rent collection and delinquency tracking. We'll be training on some of the upcoming restrictions that we'll be facing, as well as lease renewals. One goal that I feel that our department is really getting some traction on is our focus on customer satisfaction and not the growth of the units. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Warren with the Turn Team. Some of the priorities this week is we're just going to try and get back to our weekly routine. Wednesday and Friday meeting is getting back into the cross training. Also this week, we want to try and close out at least 3 turns, as well as punch and order parts and schedule the other ones that are like 2 weeks out right now. And as always, we have our work orders that we're trying to get through. Efficiency rating for our techs is a goal that right now we're doing really well on. I would say that we're probably somewhere around 75-80% on our time, which is really high. We're not wasting anything out there and taking care of our clients' assets. So hope to see y'all soon.
Hi everyone, Monique from the Association Department. This week we are focused on bank reconciliations and organizing financial reports for the board of directors of each association. We're also working on organizing summer projects for each association and making sure we have those on track. One of our goals this year was to grow our portfolio. We did take on a new association last month, and so we're focusing on building that relationship and getting that all into our regular processes. And then we do have a couple more leads that we're working on as well, so hopefully those go well also. Thank you.
Good morning. One of the top priorities that we're looking at this week is prelims, cleaning up financials to be prepared to be sent off to ownerships next week. In addition, just the beginning of the month check-ins with all the managers, and then also working with Nicole and Christine with the new management platforms that from the transfer of landings for the new management. And one of the goals that we got good traction on right now is basically identifying the projects and the deferred items, capital projects for the summer, and getting the estimates and bids that we're going to identify to complete this year. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Christine from the accounting department. This week we're going to be working on reconciliations, the bank reconciliations, and entering invoices and getting ready to start cutting checks for next week. Our department is working on SOPs to try and get those up to date, and that's all I've got. Thank you.
This is Jordan from the other department. What we're spending a lot of time doing now is anticipating what post-COVID looks like. There were some shifts because of the pandemic, and there's some shifts that fundamentally will change how we do business. And so we're spending a lot of that extra time. I used extra, but we actually don't have extra time. We're spending a lot of our time anticipating what does a brokerage look like? What does a sale look like when we come out of this? Is everything still done via video? With development, what are we looking at? What are banks looking at? And so we'll try to provide some type of report when we get done with that of really what it's going to look like for us, for the industry, and kind of for Spokane as a whole moving forward. So one of the big wins that we had was we did close on one of the development projects, and we have 2 more that we're looking at. So exciting news.
All right, good deal. Thanks, guys. So one thing that I want to talk about, I always want to bring us back to, and I'm sure you guys recognize this sheet if you've not been in the training room for a while, is our core values. So this is something that we want to continue to reiterate, especially during these types of settings. So one that I'm going to talk about today is balance, and that is balance between hard work and home life. And right now, everybody's home life might be in a little bit of a chaotic state just because you might have kids at the house, you might, both of you trying to work at the same time. It just depends. Everyone has a little bit different of a scenario going on. So I think now more than ever, it's super important to kind of sit back, take a look, kind of take a big picture look at what's going on between your work life and your home life, and make sure you have it balanced. So for instance, make sure on the weekends it's your time, like it's your personal time. Now that might not be true for our sales force because weekends are kind of like your week, so your weekend might look like Monday, Tuesday, but identify a time that you're spending dedicated time with your family, with your kids, with your spouse. If you have neither of those, with best friends or with good friends, that is super important for the well-being of yourself, especially during these hard times. So that's the one that we want to kind of bring to light, is balance during these hard times. So one challenge that I have for each and every one of you is to audit your goals. Okay? I want you to audit your goals. So pull out that goal sheet that you have. I know you have 3 personal, 3 professional. And when we do that, it helps us. It's a tool that helps us to stay balanced. So figure out where you're at. I think we have one more month within this quarter in order to get after those goals. But once again, they're not just going to complete themselves. You've got to be intentional about pulling that out, taking a look at it, and making sure you're given an honest assessment of where you're at with it, and then figure out how to get it done, right? Every single day. It's always one step at a time, and anything is possible on that sheet. So make sure you take a look at that. And for now, that's all I have. So once again, stay safe, stay healthy, and always stay engaged.